Recently, I was asked by a client what I consider to be the number one factor that determines the success of a level 10 meeting. I had to think about this for a bit. And then I thought, the level 10 meetings are incredibly important because it brings us together once in a week and we want to exchange information and solve issues. That's really important. But then I've seen good level 10 meetings and I've seen level 10 meetings that are not so good. And I realized that the number one success factor for a level 10 meeting is the facilitator, the facilitation style, how that's done. And there are three areas that the facilitator really needs to focus on to facilitate the meeting well. But before we get to those three things, I first want to talk about what's the difference between facilitating and chairing the meeting. Now, facilitating means that you are taking charge. You're there to make sure that we follow all these things. But I'm taking charge of operations. I am the person making sure that we stay on track. I'm the person who can interrupt. I'm the person who makes sure that there are no tangents. I'm the person who's able to bring my own issues to the table, but allow the others bring their issues too. And I'm really actively involved. To be a focused facilitator means you cannot be the one who is taking care of the admin at the same time. I've seen level 10 meetings where whoever is facilitating is also typing on a computer screen and getting stuff into the software or capturing something, and it's really difficult to do that well while you're facilitating. It's not ideal. Even online, it's better for someone else to focus on that while you are focusing on facilitating. Because your eyes and your ears need to be in the room. You need to lean in and make sure that everything happens. So that's, first of all, that proactive, active participation of the facilitator is really key. But then the three areas. The first thing that I think is really important is to drive the agenda. You need to have the agenda in front of everyone. In a level 10 meeting, a regular one, the 90-minute meetings, we've got our prescribed performa for the agenda. Follow that closely. If this is a departmental level 10 or another meeting, you'll have a slightly adjusted agenda, and maybe it's not going to be 90 minutes long. Maybe the whole meeting is going to be 60 minutes long or even 30 minutes. It depends on what you choose. But the point is that the majority of the time needs to be spent in issue solving, not in updating each other. We need to build the muscle of solving issues at our level and solving them all the time. In a regular level 10 meeting, that is 60 of the 90 minutes. So if you've got a reduced time span for your meeting, you need to make sure that the majority of the time is still spent on issue solving. So that's number one, drive the agenda. The second thing to focus on is to drive the outcomes. When we get to the to-dos from the previous meeting, you need to make sure that we determine how many of the previous to-dos were addressed. Did we make 90%? And are there any issues with the to-dos? Got to get that down. Are there maybe things like rocks that are constantly off track? Are we putting stuff on the issues list? Are we committing to new things? Are we getting people to sign up for new to-dos? Those outcomes you need to make sure as the facilitator that we get those down and we're constantly driving them. If the to-dos don't get done, accountability suffers throughout the organization. And as the facilitator, you're the person who brings those to-dos. Now, there's a skill here involved as well, because you want to be proactive, you want to be focusing on all the right stuff, but you also want to make this a fun event where we're working together and we're achieving stuff. I'm going to interrupt you if you take us off track, but I'm going to do it with maybe a bit of a smile and maybe a little joke here and there, just to keep stuff light and keep it going. So drive the outcomes, but don't become a serious, shall we say, authoritarian figure. Try and keep it light but focused. And then the third thing that I think is really important for the facilitator is to drive the traffic. By drive the traffic, I means that you must make sure that everyone participates. You must make sure that that person who speaks easily and maybe can repeat themselves is interrupted. That's your job. You're interrupting that person. But it's also your job to make sure that that person who doesn't say anything, or maybe is holding back, or is maybe quieter, that you bring their issues or their contributions to the table as well. Often I've seen that when we discuss a specific issue, and we can hear from these quiet people too, they've got gems that help us find the actual solution for our problem. So you've got to drive it. And also, when we start the meeting and we go around the table with good news, if there's anyone who's negative or anyone who says, I can't participate in this, I don't have any good news, you have to insist on them coming up with some good news. Even if you go by them and you come back to them. Because we need everyone's brain in that place where they can be thankful. And they may just be thankful to be alive and in the room with the rest of the people, but they need to be able to be thankful for something because that puts their brain in a positive place. So you are driving the traffic throughout this meeting to make sure that everything gets addressed. So there you have it, 3 things. Drive the agenda, drive the outcomes, and drive the traffic. If you do this and you facilitate well and you're proactive and you're focused on getting the work done, you'll have an incredible level 10 meeting. And people will look forward to the next level 10 meeting because it's productive. We all know what we need to do to be successful and we drive towards the success of the organization. So there you have it. Hopefully that will help and we'll speak again next week.